Welcome back to Link's Awakening! We're done with Dampé.
Yay.
And we've done everything that there is to do. We have all the hearts. We have all the secret seashells. Well, we haven't done everything there is to do. We're missing some chamber stones, but I don't care. We even have all 3 bottles, with a fairy in each. Filled up on everything else, which means we're ready to go wake the windfish. And finish the game up.
So weird that it's almost over.
Sword beams.
Just,
Good old mirror shield. It's weird to me that the mirror shield reflects physical things.
yeah, it's a mirror shield. It reflects.
I mean, I can see it reflecting energy. It's weird to me that it reflects spears.
Yeah, it reflects stuff. What's so weird about that?
Yep, that's a big ol' egg.
Just rolls out of the mountain the other side. Just, oh!
Ah, crap! Just tumbles down the other side into the ocean, drifts out to sea. Link's just up there like, oh...
Adachi phones you. It's like, you fucked up, didn't you? And it's like, oh no! This is a crossover I wasn't expecting.
Time to wake up!
You know... Oh. Something's happening.
It's a bird.
It's a big old bird.
Oh, that's all he's got for me. Just get in there.
You know-
You got it, buddy.
You know, I had the realization that this moment here was probably the main reason that music became such a big thing in the Zelda franchise afterwards.
I can see that.
'Cause,
I
like-
can absolutely
Because,
see
like,
that.
that whole moment of, like, gathering the instruments just to sing the song to awaken the windfish is, like, the same reason why the ocarina...
Like, you've got the
is so-
3 different themes that you can play.
Yeah, like, the ocarina is so important in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You have to learn all the songs.
I don't know if I can make that jump.
Don't think you're supposed to make the jump.
Nope, they don't let me.
Oh, it's so weird. This background, this area is just like straight out of, like, Kingdom Hearts, like the end, like the end of the original Kingdom Hearts, where you're getting close to fighting Ansem the Dark Seeker, because he's not the real Ansem. Ooh.
Okay, so we got some Lost Woods action going on here. And off the top of my head, I do not actually know the solution. This is something that I looked up because I wasn't about to just wander around the friggin' world for 10 years trying to figure this out.
I'm going to ask you.
I know where it is.
I'm going to ask you in a way that's not blatantly obvious to the English speakers, but is it in the biblioteca?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so there were some weird books in here that we found.
What does Bendejo Gringo mean?
And I think it was this one.
Oh, right, yeah. Do you really want to read it?
There you go.
Oh, God.
Ah, crap, I will never remember that.
I remember having to write that down.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm never gonna remember that. Alright, that is right, up, left, up,
Right.
right, up.
Up, yeah. Left, up.
Left up.
Left up to what?
Oh, no, that's actually super easy. Right up, left up, right up, left up. Heck, I don't need to write that down.
And then you
Dance in front of the Sphinx.
and then you press the high attack button and you get a Hadouken. Hadouken.
Low attack and you play the piano.
Well,
Alright, that's one of those things that when you get here, if you haven't figured it out already, then you go back and you scour the planet again. But if you've been into that library once, then you should understand that some things are weird.
which is funny, because I don't think you actually have to enter the library at all for any reason.
I want to say, and I may be incorrect, I want to say you have to have the magnifying lens or you can't read that book.
I think that was probably the other thing, like it was untranslatable. I don't know, this seems like the kind of thing that would make you do the trading sequence.
Okay, so right. Up. Left. Up. Right. Up. Left. Up. Okay, I was gonna say, if this doesn't take me there, I'm just gonna keep going right up, left up, and we'll get there eventually.
Eventually, at some point, when I care.
That looks... Man, I wonder what this looked like. I forget what this looked like on the Game Boy, because this looks friggin' crazy.
I think it was just a normal pit.
I could see that. Just, I mean, I think they had some weird-looking walls.
Oh yeah,
But otherwise, I think it was just kind of a room with a hole in it.
they definitely had the walls there. It's just that this whole thing was just like... They probably had like a normal pit thing, because, you know, it's the Game Boy. You can only do so much.
Yeah, alright, well, we're here. We're deep in this egg. I don't know where we are anymore, because this does not fit in that egg. And we're gonna see what waits for us at the bottom of the pit. A whale.
We are
A
born
whale!
of nightmares. To take over this world, we made the windfish sleep endlessly. If that windfish doesn't wake up, we can revive Ganondorf. That's it, we're recanting this bitch. No!
Dang it!
I mean, it's kind of cool because I like the fact.
If it weren't for you meddling kids.
I mean, I kind of like the fact that they're bringing Ganondorf in here one way or the other, because it's just kind of interesting that everyone wants to keep trying to get his Triforce of Power, but also, no!
Some of it as well is kind of what you mentioned. This world is built... It's the Windfish's dream, but it's also influenced by you and your knowledge and memories.
Yeah.
So, of course Ganon's going to be in here. Let's rumble!
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let's wrestle.
Ding, and the bell started. Oh, and Mammoth Man has already killed his opponent. Oh, that was so fast.
Crap. Yep, that's evil.
Oh, God.
Okay, I forget what any of these guys' phases are, so we're just gonna kind of putter around until we figure it out.
He's chasing me.
He is. Okay, you can hit him. Sort of. As long as I'm not bad. I think I'm hitting him anyway. I heard the sword hit, but I'm not hearing it now.
I think it's because you were using the sword beam. I think the sword beam was connecting first.
Yeah, I'm not confident I'm doing anything.
Do you want to try some magic powder?
Oh, yeah, you know, how about a beam?
I mean,
How about Yeah, let's try some magic powder. You know what? Let's put magic powder on that. Hey!
Yeah, this is definitely.
I was thinking of bombs. I'm glad magic powder worked out better.
I remember magic powder being a big thing because it was one of those. If you didn't have enough, you just have to either turn the game off or just die to restart.
Ah. Jumped like 8 times. What the crap?
Oh yeah, because he's close to
There we
fate
go.
changing.
Feel the holy power of my witch's brew. Ah, it's a Hazrilla.
Oh no, it's Agrabah. That's who it is. I'm not stealing anyone else's joke. It's just Agrabah.
No, it's not Hazrilla. It's Agnum. Ah, I got blue balled.
Nobody take that one out of context. Not Cthulhu. I got.
Yeah, no. Hazrilla is the good one. This is Agnum. Agnum is the bad one. Okay, we did it. We beat Agnum. Agnum, of course, we all know turns into Ganon. So, or you know, Moldorm.
Yeah, I remember going straight into Moldorm. I was like, okay.
Turns out Agnum was Moldorm. Holy crap! Calm down, dude.
I do like the fact that one of Link's nightmares is Moldorm.
Friggin' Moldorm.
Yeah.
Because of course he was. I forget how to fight this guy.
Wow, they even doing the fire bats. I know they did this in the original, but it's just the fact that they had fire bats.
What do I do? Fight you? Do I stab you? I don't stab him.
Arrows, maybe?
Yeah, arrows would be my next guess.
I mean, that's the only thing that, like, hurt him outside of the Master Sword.
Nope, not arrows.
Boomerang?
You know what? Sure. Nope. What else we got?
Are you supposed to, like...
Magic powder. Magic rod.
It's been 8 since I played a game like this. Are you
Probably charge swing.
Maybe. Saying that's stupid.
Yeah, it's not that. We could try bombs or a charge swing. We've tried pretty much everything else. I doubt hook shot's gonna do it if, like, friggin' bow and arrow didn't.
I mean, a boomerang didn't do anything.
Alright, well, we could try a charge swing.
Can you hit the bats back at him, or is that kind of...
Ow, ow. Thanks. Made me lose my friggin'... Nah, you can't hit the bats back. Can't block them either.
Oh wow, you can't block the bats.
Okay, throw it somewhere. Charge swing. Charge swing it is.
It's so weird. It's like, it's not really weird, but it's just like, we haven't really used the charge thing for a lot of things.
Okay, throw it somewhere. Okay, that worked. Ow, whatever, don't care. I'm alive.
I got fairies and a special medicine with me.
Yeah, I'm ready for you. Okay, throw it up here. We did it! Okay, figuring out his pattern. Like, I kind of got wrecked there, but figuring out his pattern was the hard part.
Oh, this is just straight up like boomerang or like something else.
Nope.
Can you not hit him with the sword?
Boomerang. It's probably bow and
Oh, he
arrow
was
or
probably
something.
supposed to be like hook shot. Because he got stunned, but he also got damaged because it was the boomerang.
All right. Ready the bow and arrow.
I mean, what would make you think that would be important?
You ever seen a big eyeball in a Zelda game?
Do you know how disturbing that is? That like all the bosses with big eyes just have to get shot in them. It's like, if you've been shot in the eye, have you had a round thing shot into your eye? What do you think a sharp thing's gonna do?
I mean, yeah, that's why you do it.
It's a very dickish thing.
You know, compared to the other bosses, this guy is actually not that bad.
Well, yeah, because you had to figure out what they were weak against. This is just like years of Zelda-ness coming back to you going like, alright, big eye, shoot it. I think you can slash it, too.
Maybe.
In case you somehow didn't get the bow and arrow for this.
Nope.
Maybe you just hook shot it, too. Because I think you can actually finish the game without getting the bow and arrow. But we didn't!
We didn't! We didn't even die.
Also, who was the big pig guy I turned into? What was that about?
Yeah, like, figuring out how to fight them is the dangerous part. Fighting them isn't that bad. But it's still like, pretty easily the hardest fight in the game, if only for its length.
Especially if you're not...
Ganon was also a little bit weird. Like, dodging the fireballs is okay, but getting in close to hit him with a charge swing is... That's harder than a lot of things the game asks of you. You can kind of get a groove for it, but... Hey, Owl, where are you? This is weird. Somehow I don't feel like the camera angle is right on that.
Does Link still have the Triforce of Courage at this point? No, they put it together at the end, because that's how they got Hyrule back.
Yeah, the Triforce is whole. It's how they wished everything back to normal.
Yeah, because the king's, like, totally dead at the start of Link to the Past.
We did it! Wow, that's a whale. We woke the windfish and killed everyone.
Oh god, give me 5 more minutes and just...
I've been hitting cancel, which has been immediately advancing text. I've been hitting the wrong button.
Stop playing with different controllers.
Stop playing more than one game ever.
How dare you have variety in your gaming life? Didn't there used to be an island here? Oh, that was going to be our resupply hub. We're doomed!
So I can go back whenever I want, in my dreams. It's always weird to me that the Windfish speaks entirely in caps, but, like, they have to use the name that you gave. I feel like it would be super easy to
like, capitalize it.
Force uppercase whatever you put in for your name.
Yeah. They used to do that in, like, a lot of games where, like, everything was capitalized. Especially, like, in older Pokemon games where we were like, go, this Pokemon, and its whole name would be capitalized.
Yeah, like, type it normally, but in a situation like this where it should be all capital, force it all capital. That's super easy to do. I already did that.
Encore.
I did that already.
Encore.
Well, if you insist.
Play all the instruments at the same time. No! The only one I cared for!
Bow wow, why?
Oh, I was really hoping for some Octorok tonight, too. No, what's her name? Ship's Lookout's just throwing a bottle out from the crow's nest.
What the crap?
I drink too much to see an island disappear like that.
Hey, Captain. Can I take a break?
I think I really need one. Just... Alright, I was shipwrecked. I like the dream better.
Yeah, it kind of went from having a nice house, decent food, land.
I mean, cool adventure, but nobody's gonna believe me.
I mean, that's our little spark of that did actually happen, though.
Oh, I love this game. Even the originals I love. They had their problems, but damn were they fun.
So cheerful. All right, so I mean, I've already said before, I have actually really enjoyed playing this game, and I think I've enjoyed the remake more than I enjoyed the original Game Boy version.
Oh, I
For
really like
reasons I've outlined already. Just like opening the map up, letting you see around, it just helps me have a way better sense of spatial awareness, not a cramped feeling. But just the running around, the exploring, I got a much better feel for like the island and where everything is and how you flow around the map. And those were all the problems that I had before, and I feel it now. I feel the cosmos. No,
Ryan has returned to the sky.
Like, it's been a real good time though. We've had
You've been having fun. You keep saying, like, every time we're done recording, it's like, I wish we could record more.
Yeah, I just want to keep playing. It's like, why do I have to stop? But there's a thing over there, and I want to go over there. I've mentioned a couple issues here and there with, like, conveyance and whatnot, and some of that is my fault. Some of that is actually not the localization, the remake's fault. And this is where, as far as some of it being my fault, this is where I think I mentioned before, and now would be probably a good time to say it. There is...
Oh yeah, you mean to say this.
Yeah, it's referred to as the Let's Player's Curse, effectively, but it's that you will always play worse when you're recording a video than when you're playing on your own.
Well, you're splitting your brain power. You're talking while trying to concentrate on a game. That's not that hard.
I mean, there is that, but a lot of people still don't really understand. Like, okay, I understand you're focusing on something, but really, how could you not see this thing here? And the cool thing about this is that there is actually science behind why this happens, and the extent that it can happen. Now, there's a really, really good video of this on YouTube by Core A Gaming. If I remember, I'll link them in the video description. I'll hold off for the moment.
Oh yeah, you got to go through your thing here.
So the idea is that there are two different processes, I guess you could say, that govern how your brain actions. There's kind of an automatic thinking, things that you don't have to think about. And that's your, I think it's process 2, is that kind of automatic thinking. It's automatic, it's impulsive, it jumps out, and process 2 is also kind of what you're aware of going around, things that you notice. On the other hand, there are some things that you have to stop and think harder about to figure out, should I do this or should I do that? And that's process 1. That's the more conscious thinking, the more active thinking. Or me, I play Super Metroid. Super Metroid is pretty well known for having customizable controls. If you swap all the controls and plop me in the game, I can't play half as well as I could before. And that's because I can't use process 2 to control the character anymore. So when you're playing a game, usually your peripheral, your awareness, is process 2. Just kind of being aware of what's going on around you. If somebody shoots something at you, you dodge out of the way of it, that's probably process 2. But when you're thinking actively about where do I want to go, what do I want to do, how do I want to get there, that's process 1. Now, the more active process 1 is, the more process 2 falls away. But the more that you do with process 1, the less you'll be aware of what you would otherwise be aware of with process 2. Another example that, and this is getting into my actual point, another example Core A Gaming gave was, in a fighting game, you have two characters dancing back and forth playing their game of footsies. They're super aware of and super focused on where the other person is, what moves they could possibly do, what steps they're going to take, what they're doing when they step forward. I have to step forward, I have to step back to keep distance. They step back, I want to step forward to keep that distance.
And every time I go to press the one menu button, I'm accidentally hitting the pause
that
button
player
or
2
like the
jumps up in the air
and I keep thinking
to just friggin' kick you in the head.
I keep doing it, I keep forgetting.
Objectively, you just go to anti-air, do a friggin' Shoryuken, hit him.
And it's just that moment of like...
It's easy.
I keep forgetting
but you're
all I'm getting is I'm playing an
focused
RPG.
on that game of footsies that they jump up in the air and your brain is just like, wait, what? What's going on? Because we're not doing the thing that I was doing a second, and then you get kicked in the head. But when you're sitting back watching it, when you're not that focused, you just see the one character jump up and you go, okay, they jumped up, anti-air. They just got kicked in the head. What's the deal? And that's kind of the Let's Player curse as it comes back, as I bring everything around, is when you're focused on playing the game. And it's not just playing the game, because I'm not just playing casually. I'm focused on playing the game. I'm focused on what the video is going to look like. I'm focused on keeping things going and keeping things active and entertaining. My actions on the screen on top of that. So I'm worried about how is this video going to work out. I'm thinking like beyond even the game, but to the end result. And on top of that, I'm keeping commentary going. Pretty much all of this means my process 1 is so overwhelmed, my process 2 like doesn't even exist. So someone says, that thing was right there in the friggin' way. How did you not see it? I like didn't even have a process 2, friend. I am sorry. So that's that. As far as Link's Awakening goes, that's why there's some things I just missed. Some pretty obvious things. And I can't fault the game for that because I'm not in the best situation to be able to do it. And I actually since went back and played through a hefty amount of the game in order to kind of get a more casual feel for the game, but also to experiment with some other things. And I found that I was infinitely more aware of things that I just completely glossed by the first time around. And so a lot of the things that I mentioned, like I don't think that was conveyed very well. I think it was conveyed fine in retrospect. So mostly this all comes back to I don't actually have nearly as many problems as I thought I did. I think the game is actually pretty well off. I do think there are maybe some small conveyance issues still, but that's more a sign of the times and the fact that a game can't be 100% perfect. But I do think it was an absolutely amazing game, and I absolutely wanted to keep playing it.
Oh, I love the hell out of it. I still remember getting the Game Boy Pocket all those years ago and getting like the original one and playing the hell out of that, and I had so much fun. It was like I could kind of understand where everyone who's played like Link to the Past when they were kids was coming from, because it was like, oh yeah, this was fun. I prefer the remake over this one because it gets so much better because you got more buttons this time around. But
Yeah, there's so many improvements that the remake did, but there are a choice few things that I feel like kind of hurt it in the long run, but I'll get to that in a second. You go ahead and finish up.
yeah, no, this was definitely this was worth it. I know people were kind of annoyed because they were like, this is a $60 game for like a remake, and I was like, I could kind of understand it, but still, I think it was kind of worth it. It did what it was going to do, and it was presented very well. The
Mm-hmm.
graphics were beautiful. I I I wanted every time I looked at it to go like, can I just have like a model of this entire island in this style? Just like just
And
like
again, like
stuck in a room somewhere.
oh, a couple of people mentioned not liking the new style because it kind of shifted the tone and mood of the game a little, and I can see where they're coming from. I still really like this style
Oh,
though.
I can see where they're coming from, but you also have to keep in mind that the beginning of the game and the end of the game imply that Link has been trapped in a dream world this whole time. So there's your excuse for the graphics. So, yeah, but I mean,
Okay, so,
other than that, I really like the graphics were beautiful. This game really did a good job on the remake kind of thing. And honestly, I have to be straightforward with everyone. This game is the pivotal point in where Zelda changed a lot. Like, if there was no Link's Awakening between Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time would not be the way we know it as now, and they have said that specifically. And honestly, I kind of like what it did with the series.
yeah, like it added a lot more structure, a lot more plot, a lot more character. Whereas even Link to the Past, like as much as I love that game, there's a couple NPCs near the start of the game, and maybe Hazriel talking to you through the void once or twice, but mostly it's just here's an open world, some labeled dungeons, get to it. And like Ocarina of Time was so much more, I don't want to say plot heavy, but structured. There was so much more flow and direction to it that was directed by the flow of the game and how you would progress through it and how you would affect the lives of the people that you're affecting as you go through it. Instead of just go to the dungeon, you beat it, cool, you got a MacGuffin, go to the next one.
I'm not disparaging Link to the Past. It's still a great game. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
it still is.
you can,
It's entirely
but
it entirely comes down to what you're looking for in a game, I feel.
yeah,
And Link to the Past is very gameplay heavy.
but
And if that's what you want, if you don't want that structure, you just want I want a game that's completely open and just lets me gameplay, then Link to the Past is your jam.
yeah, this is like I really appreciate this game and what it did for the series. So it's definitely one of those like if you ever want to understand why Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, the Skyward Sword, why they're all like that, you have to come back to Link's Awakening. This is the one that pretty much just solidified it as being as it is.
Okay, so you mentioned that there's a different ending if you don't die.
There's a different ending if you don't die once during your entire adventure, and it's basically like kind of a confirmation that Marin.
Don't say anything. Because we're about to see it.
Is we?
We are. Because I went to the trouble of playing through the entire game again and 100%ing it a second time over with no deaths.
He's a weird one. But, you know what? That's the one thing I like, is when you're really invested in a game, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this down. What you gonna do about it?
Alright, I guess if there is a change, it's not until post-credits.
Probably.
Okay, so one or two other things to mention along the way is some people in the comments were really upset that we didn't show off as many things as you could do with, what's her name, Marin?
Marin, yeah.
Yeah, so I went and I did everything I could. I'll try to put a clip up or something. I'll try to edit it.
I tried,
but there's all kinds of fun stuff you could do that she comments on.
I tried to remember
as
much as I could. I think I forgot the well.
Yeah, there's the well. You can dig a hole, and she reacts to it. If you try to go in if you go in a dungeon and get the absolute tar beat out of you, and you come out, she freaks out about it and yells at you for getting hurt. There's a couple things she does, and honestly, between that and the friggin' chicken thing, she gives off some pretty strong chaotic vibes. Like, you think of her as just this, like, she's just this happy lady. Maybe with big dreams and wants to go out and, like, no, that lady is chaotic as crap. Maybe she just hides it well. Something else I want to mention, which I guess we'll wait until the credits roll to see if the ending changes, because I don't want to heck it up.
Might be an extra scene or something.
I think I know kind of what it is, and I think it's post-credits.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like after this, because they have to load it in. It might just be like the normal credits, and they load in the extra scene. I didn't even notice it went 8-bit there. I'm sorry, like 4-bit?
Whoops. Yeah, what's a Game Boy? How many bits is a Game Boy?
It's like, I don't even know if it comes close to an NES.
I feel like it would be 8-bit, just limited by its display.
Yeah.
Because that's like the processor's bit rate, not A.
Man, Grizo's been really nailing it with these ports. Is it Grizo?
Something like that.
Grizo.
Y'all remember how she said she wished she could be a seagull so she could fly out over the ocean?
That was it.
And just go and see what all was out there in the world?
Yep. The implication is if you get through this entire game without dying, you get a special scene at the end that implies that Marin's wish came true. She became a seagull, and now she's out there exploring the oceans.
All right, so the very last point that I wanted to make that I would have made during the credits, but I didn't want to heck anything up because I didn't know when the credits were going to be over, was I mentioned before that the remake could actually heck something, like the remake, the expanding of the screens, could actually heck some things up. Just make it a little harder to, like, it could affect conveyance in ways that aren't really anybody's fault per se. And a good example of that is actually the underground tunnel going over to the animal village. So we have here, this is a screenshot from the Game Boy version. Obviously. This is actually a screenshot I took because I couldn't be bothered to play through the entire game myself from this is the warpless world record of the original Link's Awakening done by Seisei. If I remember, I'll link that in the video description too. So just sourcing sources. So, in the Game Boy version, every screen was its own screen. You had to touch the edges of the screen in order to pan over to see what was on the next side of the screen. And there's two things to point out here. One is that other than that sign, the only thing you can interact with on this screen is that bush. So of course you're going to cut that bush. And that's going to reveal the stairs that take you to the path that takes you to the other side of the river. So it kind of sticks out some here. Whereas on the other hand, in the remake, expanding it out like that, not only is that idiot mushroom guy on the screen, so you can't focus on what was otherwise an empty, quiet screen. You've got to worry about this guy also bombing you, so you can't pay as much attention. But also, because you can see everything that's going on off to the right, that one bush doesn't stand out as much. As well, back on this one, the right side of the screen is a wide open cutoff. That's very inviting to go all the way over there to the right and see what's over there. Whereas in the remake, by the time you're here, you can already see the edge, and you can see that there may not be anything there, so you may not even be as inclined to go all the way over. Which brings me to, if you do touch the edge of that screen, that brings you to this screen. Let's hide that one. We don't need to see that crap. It brings you to this screen on the left side of the screen. From here, you're looking at the river. Right there in the center of the screen, that staircase on the right side of the screen is front and center. A big black spot in the middle of what's otherwise a light screen draws the attention. You're very aware of that staircase. And if you go down the other staircase on the previous screen, 2 screens over, you see that you can't get across, but you can put 2 and 2 together. You saw these two things. You're looking at this going, where does that lead to? That's way out in the open. Is that an exit? You see below, you get it. You can put that together. In the remake, if you walk this far up to the edge, that's how much you can see of that right staircase. It's so much easier to overlook that right staircase, which makes it so much harder to realize that this is the way you're supposed to go in order to get over there. And that's just something that happens when you open the screen up like this. It's something you have to be aware of. I don't know what the correct solution is, because I for sure overlooked it when we were playing through this time, and I don't feel like I would have been nearly as inclined to overlook it on the Game Boy. But what do you do to resolve that issue? I have no idea. Game design is hard. So that's it for Link's Awakening. I just wanted to point that out, not necessarily as my fault, but not necessarily as anything's fault. Like, that's actually a kind of a conveyance problem, more so with the remake. And you can still see it over there, of course, but part of it that is my fault is that I didn't see that much of it. And that goes to the System 1, System 2 issue from prior. So, regardless, it's complicated, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what the complication is? It's what cookies are we going to get?
Man, what do I want?
I mean, I'm always good for Oreos, but sometimes you just got to have a chocolate. Man, have you ever had some good oatmeal raisin?
I want a chocolate chunk cookie.
Oh, chocolate chunk.
I want a chocolate chip, but I want the big honkin' squares of chocolate in it.
Oh, I love the or the cookies that like they're oatmeal cookies, but they have the cream in the middle, like the sandwiches. Oh, those are good.
Those are all right. Those are all right. I'm a little more traditional, I think myself. Just give me chocolate in cookie form. Anyway, until next. This has been Link's Awakening Remake. Until next time, everyone.
Sweet dreams.
Hey, we're back. I forgot something. So I mentioned before there's one thing that we can get in town. Only in post-game. And it's very, very important that we go get it. Bow wow!
Bear. Wait a minute. If this has been a dream the whole time, that means this isn't Bow Wow.
Oh, piece of crap.
This is a chain chomp. Oh my god, they've all been Mario enemies this whole time.
God dang it.
Wait a minute.
How did we not realize?
The frog guy. He looks like a wart from Mario Brothers 2, where it's a dream the whole time.
Oh man, dreams?
It's a weird...
It's all dreams.
It's a weird coincidence to have that's probably foreshadowed the whole thing. Especially considering that now I think about it, there was that one enemy that looked like Kirby. And Kirby's big thing is taking care of Dreamland.
Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I can't grab him traditionally. He doesn't fit through the rungs on the thing.
It's a lot of things coming together right now. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's like...
He rolled over into it. Dang it. Knock him off or something at least.
Meh.
Oh, come on. You just nicked it.
Gotcha.
We got him.
And he just rolls out of the conveyor belt somehow.
Yeah, get that Bow Wow.
It's scarily realistic.
Oh, and you get a chamber stun for this too, I forgot.
Oh. Oh, so you actually get a discount now.
Cool. I mean, I don't need anything else.
I mean, if you can get the rupees down pretty easily, so it's a nice way to get money pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, Bow Wow, guess what I got? Yeah. I guess I could have kept Bow Wow in my inventory here and just had Bow Wow with me all the time.
But it just seems proper to put him in his place. His home. Guaranteed to stay perfectly still.
Yep. Alright, well... Okay, this is it for real. Until next time, everybody, this has been Link's Awakening.
We already ate all the cookies. Man, those are some chunks in that cookie.
How you doing, buddy? Oh, he's so happy.